Welcome back, folks. My name is LastKnownMeal, and today we're going to talk about The Witcher 1. I wanted to revisit this game again before all the news about Cyberpunk start coming in, because even though a lot of people played The Witcher 3, not that many tried the first game, and in some case I do understand why. The combat is a lot different than the one you have in their latest game, because in The Witcher 1 you have to press the attack button during the right time to do damage, and if you time it right throughout the end, the Geralt does a combo. There are also other animations like dodge to evade incoming attacks, etc, but keep in mind, this game came out a while ago. So in a sense, I do understand the frustration there, but the reason why I would recommend this game is because of all the other aspects it has to offer, especially the level design, which sets a very specific Witcher mood, and in my opinion, one of the best atmospheres regarding the world of the Witchers. And also it has the same quality of writing and twists like the other two Witcher games. I originally played The Witcher 1 almost when it came out, and for that time it was somewhat a different game with a very specific playstyle, giving a fresh perspective on the RPG genre, and just the idea of going actually out into the wilderness during different parts of the day, giving you different enemies, sounded like a lot of fun at that time. The amount of biomes the game has really makes it stand out even today. Going from Vizima to the swamps for a younger me was a terrifying experience. And things even change, as I said, during the night and day cycle. Usually if you go out during late hours, you will encounter more terrifying enemies. Along the way, you also encounter various interesting characters that offer you cool quests to do, and if you really care about the story, this game kinda sets everything in motion for The Witcher 2 and even The Witcher 3. The Witcher 1 was also the first game CDPR ever made. Before that, they were actually distributing games in Poland, they were localizing them, so when they actually decided to go and start creating their own games, I'm glad that they chose The Witcher, because even though, as I said, The Witcher 1 is not the most popular game in the franchise, it certainly represents the beginning of the studio that we know today. And the game itself wasn't based in the Red engine, but rather in the Aurora engine from BioWare. But even then, about 80% of the engine had to be rewritten to suit the needs of the game, like adding that night and day cycle. Especially at this time, they were learning how to make a game, trying to figure out the gameplay itself and how is it going to be, done. And here you can see the first outlines of their formula, of the CDPR formula, packing the game with high level of detail to make the world exciting in the first place. What you can also see in the first game, besides, the gameplay formula, are the familiar looks of the monsters that later went into The Witcher 2 and The Witcher 3, plus the look of the characters that we know, both familiar and those a little bit less familiar, plus the superb music that retained the same level of quality as all of their other games. And even from a technical standpoint, it had issues, but the quests are still fun to do. I also think that The Witcher 1 really told a nice story about the Witchers and the Witcher mutagens, because they got stolen in the intro of the game, which sets the overall story, and it went into humans versus non-humans, Scoia'tael fight, which later expanded in The Witcher 2. Even the antagonists are well written, they really do make a good presence in the overall arc of the story, and I think some of the characters are, honestly, some of the best work CDPR did. And when you mix all of that with the level of atmosphere they established here, it definitely gives you a lot more darker feeling than their other Witcher games. So if you never played The Witcher 1, I really recommend you do. Yes, there are certain technical aspects that some people will not find appealing, but nothing that you can't get used to as you play. I mean, when Netflix The Witcher came out, Witcher 1 also had a bit of a revival because it has the Striga story, which was in the first season, so a lot of people got hyped around it. So yes, if you were looking for a Striga story inside of the Witcher game, Witcher 1 is definitely a game for that. And look, every biome I visited, every location in The Witcher 1 I visited, paint a really nice picture here of originally what Andrzej Sapkowski had in mind. And once you go into it, the game does suck you in for a long session of fun and anger due to twists and turns that the quest has. Even then, you had to make moral decisions around most adventures you go on. You had to choose the lesser evil. Now, The Witcher 1 came out in 2007, and throughout all these years people were asking one question: is there a possibility that we are getting a Witcher 1 remaster and remake? Because when you think about it, the game has everything there pretty much. It just needs to be, you know, enhanced when it comes to combat, when it comes to everything else, but I don't think we're gonna be seeing that anytime soon, because right now that's not the current business goal of CDPR. And I think they would rather go and create a new Witcher game, as they said that they will after Cyberpunk 2077 is done. But I don't think we're gonna be getting that remaster anytime soon if we are getting a remaster from CDPR in the first place. Would it be great? Honestly, yes. I think a lot of people don't really want to get into this because it's old, but that's not really a good reason. Like, a game is a game. But I hopefully if they do create The Witcher 1 remaster, I think it would serve as a really nice intro for everyone, and I think a lot of people who didn't play it would definitely enjoy that game. Is it going to happen? As of right now, there are zero indications it might, but who knows? Who knows? And this is pretty much everything I have around The Witcher 1. Tell me down below, did you play it and what are your thoughts? Also, click that like and subscribe button for more Witcher related content and join our growing community on Twitter and Discord. I also made a Patreon page if you were looking for an extra way to support the channel. Check it out, and huge thanks to my current Patreon supporters. Thanks for watching, stay classy everyone, and bye bye.